All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how, man, it's going to be a video on how you can tell that America is absolutely, definitely 100% Babylon the Great, and how this place is going to be destroyed, man. Because you've got these people on YouTube, right? And what you can see on the screen is a Jake that talks about he normally just talks about financial things going on in the world, right? That's what he's like, content that he puts out on YouTube normally is based around, right? And I've been watching this video, and how much of it did I watch? 11 minutes, 25 seconds. And he spoke for maybe a minute to 90 seconds of this video. And then the rest of it was just continuous compilation of videos of teachers talking about why they don't want to teach no more, man. And ultimately, the reason why they don't want to teach is because it's an unappreciated job. Teachers don't get no respect in this world, man. And even us, when we was younger, we may have not gave our teachers respect, man. Some of us may have not gave our teachers respect, and then some other teachers that we had, we may have gave them respect. But the reason why the teaching job's not profession is not respected that much in this world anyway, is because they're not made to teach the truth. Because we've got great. I'll say, speak for myself here. I've got great millstone for teachers, right? And I'm not a member of it, but I respect what's happening with in regards to that, man. Right? I've put more. I would say in my lifetime now, I've put more years and more hours into learning about being a Hebrew Israelite than I ever put into trying to get a degree. Right? Than I ever put into trying to get any college graduate certificates or anything like that. I've put way more time into this now than I've put into anything else ever in my life, because it's the truth, right? It's actually a valuable thing, man. Whereas when it comes to the school system things, some of the things that you learn are going to be true, but then some other things they're going to be coming to you talking some BS. In the school system, they're going to be telling you some things that you're like, is that even true? Some of the teachers are going to be weirdos. You know what I mean? Some of the teachers are going to be trying to tell young boys that ain't on none of that BS, that it's okay for them to wear a gal them clothes, right? And they ain't trying to hear that. The female teachers are going to be trying to talk all that. There's never no excuse to hit a girl. They're going to be trying to have mercy on and have favoritism on students. They're going to not be judging fairly in situations that they see take place. So part of that's the reason why they lose respect as well. But the point that I'm making is that this guy's channel is not even about anything like that normally. He normally doesn't talk about anything like that. But he made this video and it's just a compilation. Now maybe he might start talking further into the video and try and link this to something financial. But the point is that America's so corrupt, right? That even people that don't normally talk about things like this have had to start talking about it. Like, you had these YouTubers, these fresh and fit guys, they used to just do nothing but interview harlots and then have a kick out cam and all that. Oh, you're getting Frank Castle and all this, right? Now they don't even really be on that no more. They're trying to become something completely different, which that my that Myron guy, man, he is one of the most washout geezers I've ever seen in my life, man. The way how that guy shook and jives, he's like a Uncle Ruckus kind of character, man. And I ain't even saying that he's a Jake, because I've seen how he dances like. But whatever he is, he loves Esau, man. I'm telling you, a guy like that, he loves Esau, bro. Like, he just really, like, man, the glaze on that from that guy, what he be doing for Esau, is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely sickening to see him in action, man. And then they've told him to his face how much they don't like him. But anyway, whatever with that guy, man. He's just, like, the point I'm making is that many people all over the earth have started to have to talk about things like Corey Holcomb, right? The comedian Corey Holcomb. He has even had to backtrack on some of the things that he used to say about the Bible. He used to always say that the Bible's this and the Bible's that, right? And then I personally think that he saw one of the videos from one of the elders, man, one of the elders that be putting out bare videos, man, right? The elder would that be putting out bare videos. People know I'm talking about. One of the which there's many that do that though anyway, but like he was going into how comedians ain't nothing but some jesters. He said they ain't nothing but some jesters for the so-called white man. And then when I was watching one of them Corey Holcomb 5150s one at a time, he said exactly that on his show, and I was like, oh, you saw the elder's video, huh? And you kind of was like, oh shit, you know what, that brother's right. And you started watching his videos and seeing what he was saying, and you started being like, man, he's telling the truth. And you started seeing what they're saying something in the Bible and applying it to things you've went through in your own life. And then now he started saying things in the Bible. He started going into the scriptures, and he's 5150, which I've been seeing that show for a good at least a decade that I've been knowing about that. And he never used to talk about none. He used to say that the Bible is just all fairy tales. But now when he goes on there, he quotes scriptures, and he has the other guy in there, the other Jake, the light skinned Jake on there. He has him as a reader, damn near. He'll read the scripture, and the other geezer will try and break it down. You had No Fugazi. He had to try and talk about the Israelites. You had Saint and Sinner Marquette Duvon Burton. He was on there, right? And I saw one of his videos when he wasn't. I'm not saying he was on the Fugazi thing, which he was, but he was talking about the Israelite thing as well, right? And then he started going in for a second, man. He started talking, sounded like an Israelite for a second. He was calling white people Edomites on there and that. He was he was getting hype, man. But then he started scoffing later on. But the point is that you can't not talk about, like, you can't, eventually you're not going to be able to hide your head in the sand and pretend like this ain't happening. And the truest thing that's going to make that happen is that MOTB, man. Once that gets made mandatory, you're not going to be able to scoff anymore, because you're all the things that you were scoffing about now, right? Well, now you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to draw a line and say, oh, you didn't think that the MOTB is the micro C hip. Okay. It's easy to not think it's that when it's not mandatory. But when it's mandatory, then what you're going to say? Because if it's not that, okay, why don't you want to take it then? And when they start putting a squeeze on you, and now you do want to start taking it, you're going to have to actively say in your mind, it's not what they're saying it is. Even though you're going to see other people be so scared to take the MOTB because that was going to mean to them that they've rejected God, that you're going to be prepared to see them lose their head. We never saw nobody prepared to get their beheaded for not taking the VAX, you know. We never seen that. But when it comes time for the MOTB, people are going to witness people be prepared to do that. People are going to see people be prepared to really start a riot over not taking that. If someone's in a hospital and they're trying to say, yo, take it, and that person's really got that faith of Yahweh by Shemar Shai in them, they'll be prepared to jump out the window rather than take that. They'll be prepared to, yo, I'm not even going to say, but they'll be prepared to do anything to not take that, man. They'll be prepared to live and to not live in order to not take that. Like, it's getting so disgusted in this society that you can't not talk about how corrupt this place is, man. And even financial people are talking about these things. Like, even through this guy that I came across through Apostle Hard doing videos on him, George Gammon, right? That guy don't care about nothing to do with the scriptures. He don't talk about the scriptures at all in any way, shape, or form. Yet through his knowledge in the financial world, because that's what his main thing's about again, that he understands the language of finance, which it has got a language to it, and its language is corruption, man. The language of money is like a thing that's confusing, man. And that's why several Hebrew Israelites are now into things like this, because we know that it's connected to the MOTB. So we understand how they're going to use this financial system to ultimately bring in that, right? With a cashless society for starters. But this George Gammon guy, he even said that the overall plan of the financial system is to have people with a micro CHIP in their body. Now he's applying that to the financial world. We're applying it from saying that it's going to happen because of the Bible. He's saying it's going to happen because it's a financial change. We're saying it's going to happen because it's written in the Bible, and that's the overall plan of what the wicked elites are going to use. And that really, even at a deeper, higher level than that understanding, it's Yahweh's MOTB, and Yahweh's going to use that to sift out who does believe in him and who don't believe in him. The believers will not have that mark. They will not have that thing, that physical thing done to them that's going to cause for them later to get sores and boils, man. Like, it's crazy how so much things are going on in this world. Like I heard Trump saying, well, let me not even say it like that, man. I heard Mr. 47, right? Mr. 47 was talking, and he was saying there's not going to be no World War III if we're in the Middle East, and if we're careful, there's not going to be at all, mate. We've already gave you the warning, man. We've gave you the warning, and he sounds like he's trying to take heed of the warning. We've said to them, if you don't want to make World War III, right? Okay, do not go through with your plan to put micro CHIPs in every single citizen that lives in your society. If you really care about living and keeping your kingdom, don't do that. And he said, oh, if we're smart, this, and if we're smart, that. Mate, you're not smart for starters because you're thinking that you can come against the Lord. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. If you was smart, you know what y'all would do? Bow down, bend, go on the TV, on the news, bow down and tell all the Israelites, and you know what you'd do if you was really about the Lord, right? And if he was really smart, you'd save yourself from doing any more wicked works. And be like, you know what, we've did enough, and we're gonna have to pay for all these wicked works that we've did already, double over. But you know what? We've read in the scriptures that if the Israelites, every single one of them, wherever they are, pray to the Lord, that they'll come and save them right now. Get on the news and make you know the way you was able to lock down the whole planet? Get on the news and tell everyone on everywhere, wherever they are on earth, to all pray at the same exact time, right? And then that would make Yahweh Shai come back, and you'd end up you'd still have to pay for the wickedness that you've done, but you'd only have to pay for this amount. You wouldn't have to pay for the Jacob's trouble portion that you're gonna do, because you're gonna do it, right? You'll just have to start paying your debt from now, twice. But here's the thing, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna still do more wickedness. And we've gave you the warning. We've said, if okay, you don't want to be destroyed, okay, you don't want Yahweh Shai to come back and put you in captivity, do not use those ICBMs. Don't use them, because the moment you use them, Yahweh Shai is coming back. But the moment, well, let me not even say it like that. The moment the ICBMs are used and shot at America, which is Babylon the Great, to destroy it completely and fulfill to the point where it's going to fulfill prophecies concerning its destruction, right? If one hit there, that's not going to fulfill the scriptures written in Revelation 18. That's not going to fulfill the scriptures written in Isaiah 34. That's not going to fulfill what's written in Isaiah 13. That's not going to fulfill what's written in Jeremiah 49, right? But if all of the world's, or if hundreds and thousands of them are shot off there, well, now that's prophecy that we're talking about. Complete prophecy going to be taking place, man. And it's going to happen. And it's not going to matter whether you was an auditor in a time when you're in America. It's not going to matter how much views, how many followers you had on YouTube. It's not going to matter whether you was a fitness influencer. It's not going to matter whether you had big glutes, had small glutes. It's not going to matter if you was a baddie, whether you was ugly. It's not going to matter whether you was a handsome man or an unhandsome man. It's going to matter whether you believed in the Lord or not. And that begins with being an Israelite. Whereas right now, being an Israelite is not even a thing that's respected in this world, man. The so-called small hats, if they really were the people, should be the most respected people in the world. But they're the most hated. And then people will love us as Israelites when we're not calling ourselves that. They'll wear a LeBron James jersey real quick. They'll ask Idris Elba to take a picture with their wife, make him kiss her on the cheek. They'll go to Rampage Jackson and wake their baby up out of its sleep, so that Rampage Jackson can take a baby with their picture. They'll stop Rampage Jackson when he's wearing a disguise to try and take a picture with him. They'll stop Mike Tyson in the street real quick. They'll scream over Michael Jackson. They'll take a picture with Chris Brown. They'll buy all his albums and all that, right? As long as they're not calling themselves Israelites. They love Kanye. They love all his songs. As long as he don't believe he's an Israelite. But the moment he says he's an Israelite, oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's extreme. Oh, he's off his meds. He's off his meds because he thinks he's an Israelite. But when he was saying when he was saying he's Jesus on his meds, right? When he was saying he's Yeezy and all that on his meds, when he was saying he's Ye on his meds, according to what y'all think anyway, then he was saying though, right? But when he's an Israelite, oh man, he's lost it. Oh man, he needs to go back on his meds. Oh man, he's on that bipolar stuff again because he thinks he's an Israelite. But he don't say that none of the other people in the land of Israel are off their meds though, that because they think that they are though, innit? Like it's ridiculous how you people think that we're absolutely. Have you seen Usain Bolt run 100 meters? Have you seen him? Does it not mention in the scriptures that the Israelites were fast at running? So who wins the 100 meters more than us? What are y'all talking about, man? Who does more crazy feats of human skill than an Israelite, than a so-called black person in particular? And even I'll go further than a so-called African American, because okay, Usain Bolt's fast and he's Jamaican, right? But the African Americans ain't much slower. Not really, man. Not really much slower. But then the tribe of Benjamin in the scriptures is mentioned as being fast anyway. So y'all are bugged out, man, and you say all of these things against us, right? But everyone's noticing that this world's corrupt, man. From comedians, right? Even the recent thing that where a Hebrew Israelite brother had to defend himself, man. That video has been sent onto other things. You had people that would definitely scoff the Israelites in any other time. But they're seeing that video and they've been like, oh man, I'm glad he defended himself. These people are weak without their guns. But when we tell them as Israelites, oh, their blessing is the sword and they're Edomites and that's why they get boosted up with their weapons, you don't want to hear that. But then if it's about not liking them for any other reason, because they're just evil so-called white people, y'all are down for that. But when it comes to not liking them because they're Edomites, y'all get weird about that? Nah. So you're saying that they just really are, like you're saying that they're even more evil than we thought they were. Nah, I can't accept that. But they are evil so-called white people though. They're evil. Yeah, we told you they're evil. They are. They're made to be evil and they hate your guts because they think in their mind that you stole their birthright. And they're not going to ever stop hating you. They're going to keep hating your guts. Oh, nah. They do hate our guts, but I don't think the reason why they hate our guts is because of that. Because that would make sense. I think that they just hate our guts because of skin color. Yeah, but there's other people with our skin color and they don't do it to them. Oh, yeah, but they're not FBA. y'all are lost. The reason is what the Hebrew Israelites said. In particular, the doctrine that Great Millstone specifically teaches, man. That doctrine is the true one. Now, you've got people that, oh, there's too many denominations, whatever you want to say. Okay, if that's what you think it then. But what's your denomination saying, man? What are you saying from the scriptures? Because some of you people will scoff the Israelites, believe in the same book, and haven't got breakdowns or interpretations of the parts of the Bible that the Hebrew Israelites go into. We'll say that people are Edomites and that people are tribes and stuff like that. And you'll say, no, they're not, or you don't care. Okay, so how do you explain that in your doctrine then? Because it's in the book, right? When you read about that tribe or that nation of people, what comes into your mind? And this is where it shows that you people are lost, man. You're not really prepared to really get with the scriptures like that. You're not prepared to really be like, man, this book, okay, this book is a book and that, but this book is about real people that actually existed. Like Abraham isn't just no one that was on words on a page, you know. He was a real man that if you go back thousands of years ago and he was on the earth, you would have been able to actually see him and he would have been breathing. He would have had a heart and lungs and eyes, ears, a mouth and a nose. He would have had a voice. His voice would have had a certain bass to it. He would have had a certain natural scent. He would have had a certain height, a certain stature. He was a real man that actually really existed. He wasn't a joke, and we're connected to him. We're not joking about this. We actually really believe that there used to be thousands of years ago a man called Abraham, and we are connected to him. Then he had a son, many sons, but the son that was chosen from him was Isaac, right? And then Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the progenitor of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is what we believe. And we believe that we all look different, slightly, those groups, because Jacob had 4 women that he had children with, right? He had 4 different women that he had children with, and those different women would have had different appearances. So when the nations were first made, when each of the different individual tribes was first made, it was made based off that man and that woman having children together. So Yahweh set a certain image on that people when they were born. Okay, Israel looks like this, but when I first make the first Reubenite is going to look like this. And every single tribe is going to be a different variation of what Israel looks like. They're going to have a little bit of image of what Israel looks like, and that's why there's certain people that are from the tribe of Benjamin, right? And this is something I've noticed myself. There's certain people that are from the tribe of Benjamin, and they look similar to another person that's from the tribe of Benjamin. And there's certain people that they might not like. There's certain people, right, that live in the UK, but then there's another brother that lives in America, and I'm like, raw, that brother right there looks like that brother. And then I'll be like, that brother there looks like that brother. And there might be 2 brothers in the same camp that might look exactly the same as each other. That's how it is. There will be people that look, and it's because they're connected, man. Even when I was watching a short video from Corey Holcomb, he was calling the Mexicans his brown brothers. Why is he saying that for? Does he know he's an Israelite? I know he's heard about it, but does he actually believe it though? But he's still calling the Mexicans his brothers though. Why is it that there's always a discord as like a little kind of barrier of grief between the so-called black people and the so-called Mexican people, Latino people, but then at the same time, whenever something bad starts happening to the other one starts to get a bit emotional about it a bit, man. But then at the same time, they try and tease them a bit, man. And that's why in boxing, the Latinos be slick racist, or what they think they're being racist anyway, towards African American and that. But then at the same time, the African American will be teasing and poking and prodding at the Mexicans, man. Like they was poking and prodding at the Mexicans with this whole ICE thing, but now the ICE is busting them upside their head. Because you're both the target of ICE, because you're both Israelites and they don't like none of you. And it doesn't matter whether you Latinos want to try and say you're white on a census and put it down on paper. Visually, you're not. You're clearly not. You can say you are all you want. I don't care how much Spanish you can speak. You're not the same as them. You can think you are all you want. You're not though. Right? And they're showing you that you're not. Because there's the ICE thing's the only ICE target that it seems to ever be like when you think of ICE, right? You think of them attacking Latino or Mexican people and all that. You don't think of them grabbing someone from Yugoslavia and slinging them out. You don't think of them grabbing a Romanian or somebody from Pakistan or somebody from China and slinging them across the border and slamming their head in the ground, do you? It always seems to be the exact same people that they're grabbing up, man. Why ain't they grabbing no one else? Isn't there nobody else's arm that they could twist behind their back that came over illegally? Ain't they? Seems to always be the same faces, right? And this video is just about like how it's becoming obvious that something's going on in this world, man. Something's wrong with this place. And you can try and pretend like they ain't, oh nah, everything's all right. No, it's not, man. It's clearly not all right, is it? And that's why even people that do financial channels are talking about, why is a financial channel talking about America's moral decline? Teachers are done. America's moral decline and disrespect. No one wants to talk. Why is he talking about that? Why has he felt the need to talk about that? You got people that are doing passport bros. They do every now and again. They go like one Jake, man. I think his name is Austin Holloman, right? I think that's his exact name, Austin Holloman. And he did a video about how the first time he came out of America, and I think he said he went to Brazil, and he got treated differently than what he got treated in America. When in America, he had his own barber company, and was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. I mean a month, sorry. I mean a year, sorry. Right? And then he cried, he said. The treatment that he got, and when he realized, man, there's actually a different way you can live on this earth than the American wicked ass way that I've been experiencing. And he cried, man. And he don't seem like no soft punk type of person to me. But it was so different that he shed tears for that, man. Because the way how America is and the way how these earths become because of America is disgusting. And the first people that was corrupted by it and changed from it was the Negro, Latino, and Native American. But when we complained initially, y'all all said we were crazy because you wasn't getting the beats from it. But now all of a sudden that you're starting to realize that it's corrupt, y'all are starting to talk a bit. Now, it was funny when George Floyd was on the floor saying he can't breathe, right? And y'all used to make mockery and be on the YouTube channel comment board and say, I can't breathe, spelling it Breeve. I can't breathe, right? You're laughing. But here's the thing. Every single time I've seen anyone getting arrested and getting slammed up on the floor too much, they all say they can't breathe. So either they're all lying, right? Or they're all telling the truth. Either they're all just trying to, or either they're all are just saying that to try and get ease up off the ground, or they're all lying. Because you can't, unless of course you want to admit you're a hypocrite. Maybe the techniques that they use cause you to not breathe. Maybe the techniques that they use cause a person such pain that the person's gonna first thought is gonna be, how can I move my body to get out of this painful position that they're in? Because if you got some of you people don't know anything about life in general, you know. If you got 5 people on your body, one man on each ankle, one man on each arm, and another person on your neck and your back, right? And the person says, you're hurting me. I can't breathe, right? Well, the officers that are holding the arms, they're not the cause of the not breathing. And the person's already clamped down and shouldn't really be able to do much now. But the person that's in pain and that the pain's being caused by, well, if that person doesn't get off them, the pain's going to carry on. So they're going to try and move to get out of the position that's causing them pain. You know, like when you got an itch, you try and scratch it, right? And when you bang your arm or you bang your elbow, don't you rub it? And there's actually a whole thing to that called the pain gate theory, but that's not anything anyway to mention. But it's a thing that I remember hearing about before, the pain gate theory, which is why people like rub their arm and all that. But the point I'm making is that when someone's in pain, they try and get rid of the pain, man. So they're gonna try and move. But when it was so-called black men doing that, y'all are say, see, he's resisting. But then when it's a teenage Edomite, now y'all are saying, the police are too rough. It's 2-tier policing. You got to make your mind up. Either everyone that's breaking the law should be judged the exact same way, or you want some kind of favoritism. Which one is it, man? Because the way how I see it, y'all want some kind of special favor. Y'all expect that you should get some kind of special treatment. Because when I'm watching these auditing videos and these body cam arrests, I see a whole bunch of so-called white people doing a bunch of madness. Drunk as hell, drunk and disorderly, throwing bottles at people, trying to start fights in the middle of the street for no reason. Sniffed off their head. But they only try and point out the dark-skinned people that do it. Which, I say dark-skinned people, I really mean normal-skinned people. Because most of the people in this world have a skin that's got melanin in there. But that's not what makes you an Israelite anyway. That's just a thing that most people have, though, if we're telling the truth. And I just wanted to make, I don't even remember what I've said in this video so far, man, but I just wanted to make a video because I noticed this, like, why is a financial channel talking about the corruption of this society, man? But it's because it's something that you can't deny anymore. And everyone's going to eventually start having to notice it, man. They're going to have to. Some people are going to think that they can try and notice it to try and make it be some kind of financial benefit to them, but it's going to get to the point where it's not gonna be to no one's financial benefit, man. It's just gonna be destroyed, this place. Like the scriptures say, man, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. This society is corrupt and done for, man. And it's gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse until Yahweh Shai is sent back to cleanse this place. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.